The loud chattering and echo from delegates and ambassadors speaking in the vast, dome-like room suddenly came to an abrupt end at the sound of the Chamberlain hammering his mighty gavel. "Order!" he commanded, his booming deep voice calling all assembled to attention. He stood tall, a member of the Leonian race, a lion-like humanoid with a heavy mane and sparkling green cat eyes. "Greetings to all assembled delegates of the Galactic Confederacy. Today, we are gathered to address a trifecta of tasks concerning the newcomers to the galaxy, known as the Republic of Sol. This is the reason why the humans are here today," he boomed to his captive audience. The chair recognizes the delegations from the Sol Republic, the Cadden Democratic Union, and the Illusion Monarchy. The humans were visibly nervous. This was their first invitation to the Confederacy's chambers under any circumstances. Representing them were two men, one woman, and a child. One man, a 27-year-old field engineer from Scotland, stood alongside a grizzled 57-year-old admiral from a Martian-born fleet. The woman, a 25-year-old communications officer from Callisto, was accompanied by her 6-year-old niece. An interesting collection of individuals, to say the least. The chair recognizes the senator from the Illusion Monarchy. "You may begin proceedings," the Chamberlain commanded, banging his gavel once more. The illusions were tall, very thin humanoids with pale green skin, 3 large eyes, and 3 legs. "Thank you," the illusion senator began. "As we are all aware, not 5 cycles prior to this meeting, the Illusion Monarchy engaged in first contact proceedings with humanity. We have all seen the report, so I shall summarize for the sake of time. One of our frontier worlds made first contact when that same world came under attack from the Dyran swarms. Without even knowing what was going on, and seemingly without regard for their own safety, human fleets appeared in the star system and repelled the invaders. Without human intervention, 70 million lives would have been lost, and the Dyran swarm would have been able to use the strategic location of that world to launch raids into the core, endangering the lives of countless others. Not only did humanity intervene, but once communications were properly established, in the midst of a tense galactic meeting, the Illusion Monarchy made a significant announcement. Without any compensation, they had assisted the colony in repairs and medical treatment. Following this, they decisively eradicated the Dyran swarm colonies 7 times over. A soft murmur spread through the crowd as the Illusion delegate confidently declared, "Therefore, it is with no hesitation that the Illusion Monarchy hereby declares full support for the Sol Republic and officially announces our membership endorsement." The delegate's announcement was met with surprise and curiosity from the human delegation, but no negativity or disapproval, only soft murmurs and outright cheers. The chamber's order was called to attention as the gavel banged again. "The Illusion delegation has made their intentions known. Do we have a second to this endorsement?" Half the assembly raised their hands in support, with no opposition. Satisfied, the Chamberlain recognized the delegation from the Cadden Democratic Union, a race of lobster-like creatures. "My fellow delegates," a Cadden representative began, "we stand on the precipice of a new age. We have witnessed humanity's response to the Dian invasion. In barely 5 cycles, they have achieved what we could not in over 70. Their progress accelerates as they explore the galaxy. Our weapons inspectors and spies have already reported the existence of a kinetic bombardment weapon fitted to a corvette, mind you, that can blast through the armor plating of a Duoni battlecruiser." This statement caused an uproar of discontent and fear, highlighting the humans' destructive power and the potential threat they posed. Despite the tension, the Cadden representative continued, "Therefore, we feel no hesitation in announcing that the Kadasani Democratic Union formally declares a membership sponsorship to the Sol Republic." This declaration shocked the chamber, including the humans. The representative elaborated, "The only way to prevent them from using their weapons on us is to ensure they never have a reason to. As a human once said, the best way to eliminate your enemy is to make him your friend. Given all we have seen, we support this proposal without hesitation." A moment of silence followed before an uproar of support erupted. The Chamberlain's gavel banged again to restore order. "By order of this council, I hereby call a vote. A minimum of 80% or multiple endorsements is needed to accept membership. All in favor of humanity joining the Confederacy, Vote now. Every hand in the chamber was raised, resulting in an unprecedented unanimous vote. Congratulations, humans, the Chamberlain announced. By the first ever unanimous vote in nearly 1,000 years of the Confederacy's existence, you have been accepted as members. This, barely 20 years after joining the community. The human delegation celebrated loudly, with tears of joy from the oldest gentleman among them. However, the Chamberlain's next words halted their jubilation. We have questions. The Scotsman among the humans asked, questions? What kind? The Chamberlain explained that rumors about human habits and biology had sparked curiosity. He clarified that their membership had already been decided before the meeting, but some delegates had questions they wished to address. The Chamberlain's serious expression turned into a peculiar smirk. The humans, momentarily uncertain, introduced themselves. My name is Martin. This is Angus, that's Jessica, and this bundle of cuddles is Rose. Ask away. As long as your questions are family-friendly, we shall answer, the oldest man replied. The first question came from the Irani delegation, squid-like humanoids with anglerfish-like bulbs on their heads. We have heard of something known as a boop on the snoot. What is a boop, and what is a snoot, and why would a snoot be booped? Jessica stifled a chuckle, picked up her niece, and demonstrated by gently placing her finger on the child's nose and saying, boop. The child giggled and her cheeks turned red. If you see something cute, boop it on the snoot, Jessica explained with a smile. The sight caused one of the Irani delegates to short-circuit, the light atop his head shining brightly before he passed out, much to the amusement of the assembly. The humans were somewhat taken aback by this and, by their nature, called for a medic to be dispatched as quickly as possible, concerned about the health of their new friend. The delegation from the rat-like High Ray spoke next. We have heard your species is capable of consuming a substance known as capsaicin. This substance is lethal to the majority of species in the Confederacy and was once used as a bioweapon to stave off the Dian HIV swarm. Is it true you are immune to it? They asked in as polite terms as their translators allowed. Capsaicin? Oh, you mean peppers, said the Scotsman, reaching into his bag and procuring a green jalapeno pepper, raw and fresh. The item immediately set off the biohazard sensors of half the delegation present. He crunched on it and scoffed it down within a minute or two. Delicious. I like eating them raw, but there's no better way to eat one of those than in a nice bowl of good curry. It's all about balancing the flavor of spice, you see, especially with a nice thick sauce, he said and sat there somewhat smugly, licking his lips in delight. The Janty delegation could no longer speak, frozen in place by sheer horror. This crazy human had just eaten enough capsaicin to kill half the people in the room and was now actively saying he enjoyed it and preferred food flavored with it. Another substance known as alcohol was brought up next by the jellyfish-like race known as the heron. Is it true that... The delegation was unable to finish their sentence as Martin and Jessica both scrambled for the bottle of whiskey they brought with them. Jessica 1. Opened the bottle, setting off the toxic waste hazard sensors of quite a few delegates and sending some of them cowering in their seats. Jessica smiled and drank a quarter of the bottle, then let out a loud belch. Rose responded with a giggle and a score of 4 out of 10. It wasn't particularly strong whiskey, but enough that Jessica was now slightly buzzed, and the Heron delegation was hiding in their seats out of sheer terror. Alcoholic beverages are an interesting thing. We like them. Some of us drink because we enjoy it. Others drink because we have things we would rather forget. Alcohol is a cheap way to do that, Admiral Martin explained, calming the Heron delegation enough that they came out of hiding. The delegation from the eagle-like Avons, known as the Wire, spoke next as the Admiral reclaimed his favorite whiskey bottle. Is it true humans eat? What was the human word for it? Chocolate? I believe. It's nowhere near as dangerous to most species in very small doses, but to some, it is an extremely horrible way to die. Jessica responded by reaching into her pocket and producing a candy bar, giving it to Rose. Rose gobbled the chocolate bar up like a pig that hadn't eaten in weeks and curled up on her seat for a nap, using her teddy bear as a pillow. The room fell into shocked silence, broken only by a wired delegate bolting from his seat in sheer terror and screaming down the corridor before being handled by security forces. Another delegation spoke. this time from the stubby, elephant-like quadrupeds of the UI. We have heard of your home planet, but have received little intelligence on its surface beyond its classification. Is it true you evolved on a Class 4 death world? Martin simply responded by sending a video to all delegations, a 7-minute compilation of Mother Nature's fury, including earthquakes, lightning storms, a tornado, and a volcanic eruption. This was a shocking revelation, as the worst that had come so far was a Class 1 death world, the home of the wolf-like volume. The remainder of the meeting was called off when a mass medical emergency was declared, as half the council either passed out or went into a state of panic. Humanity was still entered into the Confederacy some months later with much fanfare, although others treated them with considerably greater caution for the next few millennia, making a point to never anger them.